Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of TUF Coffee Shop Talk. I'm your host, Rhonda Lavoie. You know, as real estate agents, we're constantly on the go, focusing on leads, listings, and closures. But sometimes, in the midst of all that hustle, it's easy to lose sight of the deeper reason why we do what we do. This week, I want to share a very personal story about how I found my why. That core purpose that drives every decision in my business and life. And what makes this story unique is that I actually partnered with an AI, with Gemini, to help me through Simon Sinek's powerful process. If you're looking for that deeper motivation, that clarity that helps you stand out and stay resilient in this industry, then you're in the right place. If you're finding value in these conversations, please consider and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss another episode. Let's get started on finding your why. So before I dive into my journey of finding my why, let's talk about what a why actually is, especially as Simon Sinek, the author and motivational speaker behind the Start With Why movement, defines it. It's not about what you do. We all sell real estate, right? It's not about how you do it, whether you're a listing machine or a buyer's agent extraordinaire, or if you focus on open houses or social media. Your why is something much deeper than that. It's your purpose, your cause, your belief. It's the reason you get out of bed in the morning and why anyone should care to work with you. It's the emotional driver behind everything you do. And here's a key point. Your why typically won't say anything specific about real estate or whatever industry you're in. It's much bigger than that. For real estate agents, having a clear why is incredibly powerful. In a crowded market, your why can be what truly sets you apart. What allows you to connect with clients on a deeper level, beyond just the transaction. It's what keeps you motivated when the market shifts or deals fall apart. It provides that guiding star for every business decision, whether it's choosing a niche, deciding on a market strategy, or even how you handle a tough negotiation. It's what makes you authentic and unique, even amongst a sea of agents. So you might be wondering, what prompted me to seek out my why, and how did I decide to use an AI for that very personal process? Well, I'll be honest. Even after reading Simon Sinek's first book, Start With Why, which outlines the whole concept, I still couldn't quite figure out how to put it into practice and pinpoint my own why. I was probably a lot like you, thinking it needed to say something about real estate or be something vague like, for my family. No offense, doing things for your family is probably essential, but it's not necessarily your driver. It's not truly your why. So I picked up the follow-up book, the Find Your Why, which he co-authored with David Med and Peter Docker. I was hoping it would give me more of the step-by-step guide. In Find Your Why, Sinek talks about the importance of having a partner to help you through the process. This person listens to your stories and helps you spot recurring patterns and themes that you might miss on your own. As I was trying to figure out who that partner could be, I had a bit of a light bulb moment. I thought, could an AI do this? So I turned to Gemini. I was literally sitting on my front porch, because that's often where I read first thing in the morning. And I thought, I wonder if this could happen. And I opened it up and I started by asking Gemini if it was familiar with the Simon Sinek's Find Your Why, and specifically if it had access to the processes outlined in Chapter 3, which focused on the individual why discovery. Gemini confirmed it understood the process and laid out exactly how we could work together, just like the book suggested. It offered to be my partner, listen to my stories, and ask follow-up questions to help uncover my core themes. It was such a relief. I finally had my partner. It was so easy and kind of exciting all at the same time. The process itself was incredibly insightful. Gemini guided me to share 5 to 10 meaningful stories from my life, moments when I felt proud, fulfilled, made an impact, or truly felt like myself. I shared various experiences from being a trainer on my high school basketball team and feeling like I belonged, to giving gifts to my staff when I was working in an oil and gas company and seeing their genuine appreciation. I talked about creating special moments for friends on a Disney cruise, and even how I started the Coffee Shop Talk group and everything growing into the TUF Collaborative membership. I shared my experience speaking at EXPCon and helping real estate agent clients with tech systems like KV Core, and my work as the chair of the school's SCC. But every story, no matter how different, brought out more pieces of my why. And after each story, Gemini would ask thoughtful questions, follow-up questions, just like a human partner would. It would dig into the emotions, the impact I felt, and what truly made those moments meaningful to me. And then after reflecting on my answers, Gemini would identify the emerging themes across my stories. Things like belonging, being seen, service, support, guidance, contribution, recognition, creating special experiences, community building, and leading with action. It was super fascinating to see these patterns emerge. Often things I hadn't consciously connected before. Definitely things I haven't consciously connected before. And as we went, Gemini would propose different versions of my why statement, refining it with each story until we landed on something that truly resonated with me. And what's very interesting about this, I'm not going to lie, it didn't take very long. I bet you, I had told probably 3 or 4 stories after I was done reading, and when I started on my deck, like I said, I probably told 3 or 4 stories, and at that point it started to craft a why already. And then throughout the next couple of days, I would pick up from where I left off and to tell a few more stories that kind of came to mind that I thought, well, I want to see, this was an important story in my life. I want to see how it impacts my why statement. And what's so cool about it is it really didn't change my statement. All of these stories from my past, no matter where they were in my age or where I was in life, they all looped back into the same thing. And my final why statement that we came up with is, I lead with care, action, and a drive to make things better, so people feel seen, supported, and safe to show up, grow, and thrive. I'm going to say it one more time, just a little bit faster this time. I lead with care, action, and drive to make things better, so people feel seen, supported, and safe to show up, grow, and thrive. Do you notice something? My why statement doesn't actually say anything about real estate or selling homes. That's because a true why statement is much bigger than your business. It's the core process that fuels everything you do. And since doing this activity, I have spent a lot of time revisiting this why statement, and I actually write it out every day as a part of my journaling process and really connecting with it, because it was almost like after finding it, I felt seen, like, oh, I get it now. Because this whole time I was thinking that my why was going to be, well, I do it because I need to make money so that I can do all these things with my family, because I want to travel. That's and I've talked about this in the podcast. We as a family we like to travel. We want to do more traveling. So my why must be that I want to travel the world. No, my why isn't connected to the thing I want as the outcome or what I want out of life. Your why is so much bigger than that. It's so connected to you, to your soul, to who you really are. Going through this process, especially with Gemini as my guide, it was incredibly validating. It took all these seemingly disconnected moments and feelings and wove them into a clear, concise process. It truly became the guiding light that helps me understand exactly what I need to do, when, and why, and all of the things. So you've heard of my personal journey of finding my why. And maybe you're thinking, that's great for Rhonda, but how does that apply to me as a real estate agent or whatever walk of life you're in? Well, let me tell you, having a clear why is arguably one of the most powerful assets you can have in your business. Sometimes even more so than your latest lead gen tactic. It has been incredibly powerful for me. Think about it. Real estate isn't about always sunshine and smooth closings. You have slow months, market shifts, deals that fall apart, clients who disappear. When you're facing those tough days, just chasing a commission check often isn't enough to pull you through. But knowing your why, that deeper purpose, like helping families achieve stability or building community or empowering others, that's what keeps you showing up, putting in the work, staying resilient when things get challenging. It's your anchor. Every day we make choices. Which niche should I pursue? What marketing strategy should I invest in? Should I partner with this person or focus on solo growth? When you have a clear why, it becomes kind of a filter. You can ask, does this decision align with my why? If it doesn't, it's probably not the right path for you, no matter how shiny it might seem. This clarity helps you avoid that shiny object syndrome we talked about earlier. That was a previous episode, if anybody's curious. And it helps you stay focused on what truly matters. Being authentic in your messaging and your marketing is huge. And when your why is clear, it becomes your unique voice in a crowded market. For example, I use my why as a filter when building any of my marketing content. I actually input my why statement into Gemini as part of the filter so that when it helps me create social media posts or my newsletters or podcast descriptions or anything, it aligns perfectly with who I am and why I do what I do. This ensures my message is authentic. It resonates with my ideal customer. It helps me attract the people who truly connect with my purpose, not just my services. When I started using this filter, if you will, in creating my marketing, my messaging became so much better aligned with who I am. And it just felt so much more like me when I was using AI to help me create these things. And let's face it, you guys know that I use AI. It's a part of my business, and it's how I'm able to bring you as much content as I can because it streamlines all those things for me. But I didn't want it to feel like an AI bot was creating all of these things. I wanted it to feel like me, and I really wanted it to align with who I am and my values and all of those things. And my why statement makes that so easy. By having that as a part of the filter in Gemini, it really does align with what it is that I'm trying to do in my, ultimately, my why, obviously. When your why is clear, you naturally start to attract clients who resonate with your values. You're not just attracting anyone anymore. You're attracting the people who genuinely love to work with you and who appreciate what you stand for. It makes your work more fulfilling and often leads to smoother transactions. And our favorite, more referrals. Real estate can be a treadmill. And if you're just chasing transactions, burnout is almost inevitable. But when you're fueled by a deeper purpose, when you know your work is contributing to something bigger than yourself, it recharges you. Your why becomes your sustainable energy source, helping you navigate the demands of your industry without losing your passion or your personal well-being. Now you might be thinking, okay, Rhonda, I get it. Finding my why is huge, but how do I actually talk about this with people? When someone asks me, what do? I can't exactly launch into my entire why statement, right? And you're right. Absolutely right, actually. Your why is your internal compass. But translating that powerful purpose into a concise, compelling, memorable answer, that's a whole other skill. It's about taking that deep purpose and articulating it in a way that truly connects with people in just a few seconds. We're going to dive into exactly how to do that and craft an elevator pitch that truly stems from your why in a future episode. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that one. So you've heard how incredibly impactful finding your why can be, and you've heard about my journey. Now, how can you go about finding yours? As I experienced, and as Simon Sinek emphasizes in Find Your Why, having a partner to help you through this process is key. This could be a trusted friend, a mentor, a coach, or yes, even an AI like Gemini, just as I did. This partner helps you notice patterns and themes you might miss on your own, and actually will miss on your own. The process itself is rooted in your experiences. Your why lives in the past, in those moments that truly shape you and filled you with purpose. Here's how you can approach it. First step is to think of at least 5 to 10 personal and professional stories from your life, things of significance. These should be moments when you felt particularly proud or fulfilled, when you overcame a challenge that helped you grow, when you made a real impact on someone else, or when you felt completely like yourself. Don't overthink them. Just bring to mind those moments that made a strong emotional impact. Next, share and listen. This is where your partner comes in. You'll share each story in detail, describing the situation, your thoughts and feelings, who was involved, and what made it meaningful to you. Your partner's role is to listen intently, take notes, and ask clarifying questions to help you go deeper into the emotions, values, and themes underneath. After you've shared your stories, your partner helps you spot the recurring themes across them. These could be about connection, contribution, service, support, creativity, growth, or even being seen and valued. In my process, themes like belonging, leadership through kindness, and empowering others to take action consistently emerged. Once you have these core themes, you work together to draft your why statement. Sinek provides a simple formula for this. 2, your contribution, so that your impact. So 2 blank, so that blank. 2, your contribution, so that your impact. This sentence captures your unique contribution and the positive impact you have on others. And then once you have a draft, test it out. See how it resonates with you and with others. Does it truly reflect your core purpose? Refine it until it feels absolutely right. This process can be incredibly illuminating. It connects all those seemingly disconnected experiences and feelings into a clear, concise purpose that can grow and guide everything you do. If you're feeling pulled to find your why, I highly encourage you to give this process a try. Whether you're using a trusted friend, a coach, or even a partner with AI like I did, the clarity it brings is invaluable, actually. You can find more resources on Simon Sinek's website or in his books, Start With Why and Finding Your Why. Well, that concludes our episode this week. Thanks so much for being here. It really does mean a lot to me. If you haven't already, please subscribe or hit that follow button, as I'd love it if you came back week to week. And if you're really loving these conversations, I'd be absolutely thrilled if you could take a moment and leave a 5-star rating wherever you're listening. Just go ahead and click on that 5th star and give us an incredible review. I love it. If you are looking for more information on the membership, check out tufinstitute.com, or if you want more information on me and my real estate business, check out rondalavoy.exprealty.com. Looking for my socials, I'm on Instagram at rondalavoy_tuff, that's TUF, and on Facebook, just as my name, Rhonda Lavoy. Reach out anytime, I'd love to hear from you. Hope you really have a marvelous day, and I can't wait to bring you another episode next week.